Hey, welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, real quick, while you've got some time before the moon thing comes up, I cannot stress this enough. If you do not comprehend how the U.S. has manifested, if you're living in the U.S., if you do not comprehend how you manifested genocide in your own streets, and you've got you got what's her face, telling a reporter that basic lies and that everything is fine and there's nothing wrong and nobody did anything wrong. That is the perfect face for a spiritual community right now. Spiritual bypass. We didn't manifest anything. It was supposed to be like that. We had nothing to do with that. I don't know what you're talking about. That is the perfect reflection that we needed to see and go, okay, we can't afford to spiritually bypass this. Do we want to manifest this into our streets, or do we want to nip it in the bud? If you can't find that space inside yourself that manifested that in your country, then you need to sit your ass out on this next moon cycle. Please do not put any of your ignorant energy into this. I cannot stress this enough. Put your wine down, put your crystal down, take your ass into a bath. Do not ask the universe for anything. Ask the universe to show you what's inside. Do not manifest, do not create, do not even destroy anything. You ask for clarity on where the hell it is residing within you. And then you ask it to be cleansed and cleared and integrated. Otherwise, we're just going to repeat the cycle. This is how manifestation works. Everybody's looking for the yum yum and not even asking themselves how the ish showed up. Through you. It showed up through you. So you need to sit with that. You need to get real about it. We've all got to do it. There's no one exempt from this. And if you think you are the problem. You are the problem. If you cannot admit to yourself, I manifested this and I need to cleanse and clean it from my system so I do not create a pattern that holds up the horrors of history. This is birthing a new earth. It's not painless, kids. It's never going to be sunshine and unicorn farts. Whoever told you that wants your fucking money and probably your soul. And if you gave it to them, now you've got something else to sit with. Moving on. You need to find those places in yourself that gave birth to allowing this in the U.S. streets. You find it. Seek it out. Ask it for clarification. Ask it how it showed up. Where your beliefs or your convictions brought this into existence. And then you need to say, can we change this to something else, or does it need to be completely eradicated? Is there any value in this belief structure other than giving allowance for genocide to happen in my own freaking country? Or anybody else's for that matter. This is real spiritual work. Yeah. You just say, okay. Yes, energy flows where focus goes. But if you're tied, and you are, because it got manifested, you are directly tied to that now. Your fellow collective on the land that you stand on produced a big, big problem. Okay, this isn't kidnapping and trafficking. This is asking the entire collective for the allowance of total and utter, unquestioned genocide. That's why people are outraged. Genocide. They are asking our permission to do so. And they have 24% of Americans' approval to do so. The fact they had the gonads to even ask says volumes. We need to seriously assess where it is in our system that we would give any permission for someone to be unalived. Even when the police force on January 6th did not, in any way capacity, when they were literally bleeding, when everybody would have said, oh my God, they're trying to kill you, just maim them at least. They didn't do it. They are asking our permission and our allowance. Where did they get the idea that we had that within us? We've been programmed. It's planted in there. Your duty as a human citizen is to find where it's planted, pull it out, and say, why is it that you are even here? Is there any use for you? And how do I get rid of this? And what is the best, most productive, and safest measure to shutting that entire system down within myself? This is actual spiritual work. It has nothing to do with, oh, diamonds in the fucking sky. They're pretty. They're gorgeous. You can learn some stuff. They're flowing through that. Definitely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Every one of those molecules out there exists within here. And yes, they are directly connected. But for right now, we are being asked directly, are you going to allow genocide in your streets? Is this good? Is this okay? Can we do this? Can we gaslight the hell out of you? So if you don't comprehend how it showed up from your inner workings, don't move until you do. You sit down, you be quiet, and you ask yourself, where did this come from? Where in my system do I think that people should just be unalived? Is it because they're poor people? Is it because they're poor and drug addicts? Is it because they, they make me feel bad? Is it because I believe that they're NPCs, that they don't have a soul? Those people should be, where is it in your system you think to yourself, it would be okay if that person was unalived? Where did that come from? Who installed it? Did you allow it? Would you still allow it? This is what I'm talking about. This is actual spirit shadow work. This is not like, oh, we're gonna light some candles and have a nice bath and do all the woo-woos with the crystals and the flowers. No, you need to sit down and ask yourself some serious questions, okay? This ain't fuck around and find out season. This is, we are finding out in the most fuck around way possible. Okay? And that gnome chick, she's perfect replication of, I don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. That's a lot of the spiritual community. I don't see it that way. That is not reality. You have gotten the wrong impression. Blah, 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 blah. Easy, okay? Discernment needs to be taken here, okay? Wheel back the gaslighting for just a moment and get real with yourself. We've allowed the narcissism. We've praised it. We've put it on a pedestal. We've given it power and leadership for thousands of years. Hence why it keeps manifesting. So now that we're able to see the truth, how do we get it out of our own system? This is not about vengeance. This is not about going out and being... Shit. What's the word where the... Batman? What is Batman? So Batman's not part of the police force initially. What does that make him? Oh my god, I'm terrible at this. Vigilante. Okay. Scared myself there for a second. Okay, so this is not a time for vigilantism. Absolutely not. There's no reason for that at all. Okay, if you step in front of their karma, they're not going to get it. Stop putting your energy into it. Move it out of the way. Okay, move it out of the way. Yes, energetically pester them, that's fine. But do not touch. Do not engage. Do not seek anything that's going to directly tie you to them. Okay? We've already seen what happens when there's an engagement. Okay? Do not. Hold the freaking line. Do the inner work and say, okay, where's the conviction in me that believes people should be unalive for this, that, and the other reason? And then come to terms with it. No more of this whole let's fuck around and find out. Okay, if we really do want a new earth, we do have to do the inner work. There's no way around it. You don't get to spiritually bypass that you've been worshiping human sacrifice this entire time, and here we are being presented with the option again. And if you're going to hit your knees for a man that died for your sins, guess what's going to... This is why I do not care for Abrahamics. They literally are manifesting extinction on the planet. I don't appreciate it. Okay, so maybe let's not involve Jesus. Let's leave Jesus on the sidelines and say, you know what? No one should die for anything, for any reason whatsoever. No one needs to be unalived for any reason. Period. The end. I don't care what they've done. Okay? And here's the other thing, too, is they want to make you believe that the pedophiles, blah, 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 blah. Unalive the pedophiles, blah. Put that down. Put it down. Because it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. You need to come to peace with that. It's not going to happen. I need to come to peace with that. Okay, so just like you have inner work to do, I have inner work to do. When I am coming at you and you're like, this lady's aggressive, I am telling you from my own personal experience. As hard as I am with this particular cutoff, I'm harder on myself. So when we have a narrative that keeps running and keeps producing an outcome, we need to drop the narrative. No one needs to die for any reason. No one needs to die for anybody's sins. Okay? Here's the kick. If we drop that narrative where, you know, Jesus needs to die because I did a big bad boo-boo, do you know what happens when we put that away? The people at the top doing the big bad boo-boo get direct access to justice. This is what we do not comprehend when we pick up a narrative that puts men in front of the sacrifice narrative. In this case, it's a woman, but that's because patriarchy and misogyny and red pill gone full Agent Smith on this one. Holy but Jesus. Anyway, it's just, woo, flip that switch. I was like, okay, I'm getting whiplash in these comment sections here. Okay, so when there's a narrative where anybody needs to be okay, I'm part Puerto Rican, I can do that. When we have the narrative where we have this notion that there's some sort of reason, excuse, thought pattern out in the world that's going to gain us access to any sort of unaliving for justified reasons. If we could just take that out and say, okay, I see you, and I understand that I hold a lot of charge behind this. I'm willing to put the charge down and have an open conversation with whatever energetic pattern this is for you, whether it be I don't like poor people because it makes me feel bad seeing them on the streets. I don't like drug addicts because they don't do anything productive for the society. I don't like pedophiles because obviously right there with you. I don't like murderers because I'm right there with, I don't like rapists because Okay? So bring all that, yeah, I don't believe this person deserves to live narrative. And focus. Lady, you're really pissing me off. That's the whole idea. You see, feel that charge? Fucking unplug it. So it's tied to a matrix narrative. And right now, the cost for holding it is literally human life. And the crap that's showing up in my glasses right now is really creeping me out. Anyway. No, it's not the crap. It's the reflection. I gotta leave these dirty. Anyway. Anyway, so when we have a narrative that's coming up, sorry, squirrel, the I don't believe this person has a right to exist here needs to come into, because we're manifesting it now. The universe just showed us that. Okay, and they will tap into any reason or excuse they can. You know, she's a woman, she's LGBTQ plus. Okay, you can hear this in the red pill community where they just flip the Agent Smith switch has been flipped. That has completely hijacked their narrative. And when you come at them with evidence, like, dude, his feet were nowhere freaking near that tire. And he had his gun drawn before she put that car in drive. Okay? Can't point that out to that crew. And they still believe that even though no part of her vehicle touched him, that she deserved to be unalived for not obeying and following orders. Do you see what I mean? So they're telling us exactly how we can do our spiritual work, okay? They will, if you need inspiration, go to their comment section and be like, what? So they have these beliefs and these convictions already installed in them. She was a woman and an LGBTQ, automatic. We don't care what the footage says. Automatic. Do you see what I'm saying? So where's the automatic button for you? Where's the automatic? Like, I don't care who the hell he was or what the hell he did. Automatic. I don't believe you should be alive here. Whatever touches the... Don't make fun of how my button sounds. It's whatever the button sounds like for you, okay? That's my button sound. Shush it. Anyway, so when your button gets pushed, how does that manifest for you? Where does it pop up in your reality, right? Did you just hear about so-and-so did so-and-so to so-and-so? And you're like, okay, that's where you need to look. Where can you look at that with eyes of fierce compassion, not forgiveness? Don't let anybody con you into that. Maybe you just need to receive the part of you from that situation that you chose to leave with it and give up. Because a lot of times when there's death involved, there's a part of us that dies. Or when, death is being implemented, it's a part of us because we are a collective. People don't seem to register. This is a collective. We are directly tied to one another, whether we like it or not. Now, how that distance and that energetic flow shows up, completely up to you. But when you've got an open heart and somebody in, your country is deleted that way, and the collective begins its collective mourning, that tie becomes deepened. It becomes stronger. Okay? So when we realize that, like, we are saying some other thing on the web, like, okay, and that takes down the web, and then we become weaker as human beings, as a whole, as a collective. So where do we need to look at our own humanity and go, okay, strength and courage, gonads and whatever, how can we say to ourselves, okay, this is where the death scenario comes up for me. And this is who I believe, for whatever reason, should no longer exist on the planet. This is why I believe that. And I need to come to terms with that and start changing it. Because right now, how they did this was they exposed themselves so we would be so angry and upset and want them brought to justice. And many of us want that. This is part of that. And it also ties, so it's not one thing or another. It's multifaceted. If it wasn't multifaceted, we would be able to do this work much more simply, much more easily, and much more efficiently. But the problem is, it's just like the web we are in. The web they use to corrupt our system is multifaceted too. So are you taking things that you know are poisonous? Ooh, lady, I'm gonna get so mad. It's fine. Okay? See what I'm saying? This is why, if you don't comprehend what the hell is going on right now and how this showed up in your face, park your bottom. Park it and don't move it until you get it. Because manifestation right now just got a big old death stamp on it. Okay? We don't get to ignore that. Because I don't feel nice. It's not high. Step away from the fucking bypass cheesecake. Okay? Step away from the bypass cheesecake. Just easy, kids. Okay? We don't need to be out here like fucking amateurs manifesting another global genocide. Breathe, bitches. Breathe through the bitches and burn through the ditches, and we're gonna not burn anybody. Nobody needs me. Okay? So rewrite that script. Tell Rob to sit his ass down and get shit straight. So, when you are in the ditch, that's the thing. It's like when you're in that trench, right, with the rest of humanity in mourning and realizing that, oh my God, we really did dig this hole. We did dig this alleyway for the water to run, and now it's showing up in our communities. And it's not about filling the ditch back in. And it's not about burning witches. It's not about any of that. It is about personal accountability for where you perceive death being allowable to exist. Okay? So we want to punish but the people that are in so much freaking pain when they're alive at the end of their life, we have to leave them here to suffer. You see what I'm saying? We have death all wrong. And as a Scorpio, 12th house stellium, he's a little pissed. But anyway, don't be hurting his feelings. So that's a video for another day. But if you can come to the comprehension of realizing, hey, when it comes to these particular matters in my own personal consciousness, in my own electromagnetic 6 feet motherfucker field, we do need to start really honing in on all of those facets. You know, you watching death shit all day, you know, I have a true crime problem. Okay. It used to be worse. I dialed it back, but man, during the down season over here, the self-reflection, I'll get into the killing, the show The Killing. I think there's 3. I usually end up falling asleep for the 3rd one. I don't think I've ever seen it the whole way through. It's terrible. But I'll watch the whole thing in one go. It's a pretty decent show. I really enjoyed it. Just because it takes you through all the facets. It literally doesn't let you skip through any facets. It's one of my favorite. And then of course there's True Detective season 1 only. I think Season 2 was, oof. They tried during season 3, and I don't want to touch it anymore. Like, But Edwin Tuttle is on the Steen of the Epps list. Just saying. So, and I think he's from the South. Just saying, I have no allegedlys. Or I do have lots of allegedlys. I'm not saying anything. It occurred to me, and so I feel like I need to say it out loud. Allegedly. Anyway, so if you can get to a point by the moon shift, which is in Capricorn, this is your bones, bitches. Saturn rules the bones. Drop the Saturnian, whatever the hell it is. That is physical in your body. Easy, kids. Okay? So, there's a whole thing I could do about that. And I'm finished putting together all my classes and collect all my info. And, oh my God. 10,000 notebooks to sift through to figure out, okay, which goes with what. Alright, but the bone part, okay? So the marrow in the bone that you have, this is why osteoporosis is such a huge problem. So, so the marrow in your bone gives your body the nutrients when your body starts running out of the nutrients. This is why when grandma's like, you know what, if I don't get my motherfucking cheesecake and crackers, I don't want nothing else to eat but cheesecake and crackers. Now, there might be something in that cheesecake that she desperately needs that could come in a less tastier form in a higher amount. So if you can get her to kind of, eat the uncomfortableness, but then you can have the cheesecake, okay? So don't deprive. Fucking A. God damn, dude, they've lived here for how many years? Give them the things! I can't tell you how many times I've wanted, and there's my other death thing. It just, the Nazi white coats. Bitch, do you know how many years this human had to fucking kick ass through to stay here? Do you realize that? Fuck off! They get the thing. I don't care how much salt is in it. They get the thing. Fuck, they have suffered for so long. And we're going to be like, you can't have anything you like. Fucking what, Nazi? Oh. See? Now, I don't believe they should be harmed in any way for that. But they do need a good stern talking to, I'll tell you what. So anyway, so when you feel that heat that I just randomly felt the need to demonstrate for you, when you get that way and it gets to the point of, excuse me, I believe your access to air should be denied, that's the point where you need to start assessing, okay? Because that's what's manifesting right now. That's what's showing up. So if we just go, God dingo jango, where does this exist with me? Where does this happen in my body? And a lot of times it'll happen in particular spots in your body. Get in your body and ask it where it's coming from. Breathe into that space. Ask that space what it needs. Ask that space what it can teach you. Ask that space, do we really need to feel this way? Is this necessary? Is it necessary? How can I release this? And again, you don't listen to me on how to deal with it. I'm just trying to get you access to it. Okay, you need to follow your own inner patterns. Don't follow Susie Lou Who on Blueho too. Stop looking out That's scary shit out there, dude. It's worse than you think it is, because now we're in a whole session of spiritual bypassing that's going to manifest this right before our eyes because they refuse to do the hard work. See? I don't believe they need to be harmed for that either, but boy, oh boy, the price for collectively taking a shit ton of people into pure ignorant manifesting bliss. Ooh, I am grateful that I am not involved in any way, shape, or form with that type of community. How about that? Okay, so we've got our little on the inside of us that has, okay, that person really, like the Diddy's and the Epsteins and everybody involved. How do we come to terms with that rather than manifesting death that we already know? Stop kidding yourself. Stop fooling yourself. These people are not in any way, shape, or form going to be held. They will flee the entire, I'm sure Elon has got some sort of spaceship to Mars, okay? Something is going, or they've got holes in the hills, okay? Forget that. Forget the revenge. Just step out of the way. You got to step out of the way of Lady Justice. Let them have their karma. But what we can do with that right now is disallow them to be in our streets physically taking people out that haven't done anything. Okay? So how did we get to that point from within ourselves? Where's our conviction on that? Because it's a conviction at this point. Somebody got shot to death. That is now a conviction in the human consciousness that we manifested. How do we sit with that? How do we rectify that? How do we move it out safely? Okay, so that everybody, including ourselves, is free from harm. Find it, break it, burn it. Okay? However you need, you do what you got to do with it. But boy, oh boy, that 24% has already has the conviction that should be happening in our streets. And yes, most of them are male. And the head of the whatchamacallit is a female. But that's our mirror reflection. Deny, deny, deny. Suppress, suppress, suppress. Don't spiritually bypass this. There's lives at risk. No. Okay. Cannot stress this enough. There's lives at risk. Do your human homework. I love you. Keep your flame.